What an incredible sprint race. That was chaos at the start, wasn't it? It was dry, rain came down just at the start, and it was a question of who would take the inters, who would take the mediums, how hard would it rain. And actually it was everybody that went for the inters except Valtteri Bottas, and actually on the formation lap he came in and switched to the inters, and actually it was the right move in the end, but I was surprised a few more didn't go for it. Probably they knew that there was going to be more rain to come, and it was only up until lap 16 when George Russell braved it out and went for the mediums that they would actually have worked. So right choice to call it in at the end. He tried it, fair enough, but it was Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez. What a battle that was. Poor start from Max. Sergio passed him just in the second phase of the start, wasn't it, and got him into turn 1, and then pushed him really wide off the track, didn't he? And I thought that was quite aggressive from Perez. And then into turn 2, you thought Perez would stay in the lead, but Max Verstappen, I think he was red angry under that helmet, wasn't he? And he absolutely binned him into turn 2. He came from miles back, really outbraked himself, caused both Perez to just run wide. He kept the position, and the real loser out of all of that was Lando Norris, who tried to avoid the collision with Perez, dropped him back, lost about 7 places from that. Lando Norris did, because he was in 3rd place. Perez then lost out to Hulkenburg, but what an aggressive move from Max Verstappen. I guess he was just mega angry that getting pushed out onto the grass when he got that run out of turn 1 by Perez. Perez saying he didn't see him. I do kind of question that, to be honest with you. I kind of think he did that on purpose, but it's racing, and hard racing is the only way you're going to get past Max. It's the way he did it. Look what he did to him on the way in. I'm surprised Perez was so cautious into breaking into that turn 2. I know it was mixed conditions and you kind of don't know where your braking is, but from there on it was Max. He was away, League of 1. He won by 21 seconds, didn't he? And absolutely brilliant. And then we had a Max battle. Hamilton had a brilliant start as well. He was up 5 places at the start, up into P18. You need to watch that start from him. It was brilliant. Lando Norris went down to P10, and then we got the Russell and Magnussen battle, as Russell did really well. He was 15th, wasn't he, after a poor run yesterday. He got his absolutely bang on today. Hulkenburg looked really comfortable in P2 as well, kept Sergio Perez behind for quite a number of laps as well, about like 11 or 12, and then the Haas really heavy on its tyres started to pay then, didn't they? Got punished. Perez passed him, and then he started to tumble down the field, but an excellent decision to just pit him, come onto the mediums, and he did well to recover back. He passed Ocon. Hulkenburg did. It was brilliant move to get back in, and some good points for that Haas team. Yeah, then we seen the 2 Mercedes coming through the field. It was Russell and Hamilton both made good moves on Magnussen. Magnussen did really well with the battle with Hamilton, and didn't thought he'd got him, but then he kept back at him. Hamilton actually eventually made the move with the Mercedes just better on its tyres. And then there was a great battle between Ocon, Leclerc and Norris, wasn't there? It just looked like anybody would win on that one. Norris looked like he had the faster car of the 2 in front, but just couldn't get the pass on Leclerc, and Leclerc actually made a good move on Ocon, but Ocon did brilliantly well to hold it on the inside, was really aggressive on the apex, and Leclerc just didn't keep it around the outside of him. But had that happened, and I think then Ocon might have been a bit more in trouble, but he did brilliantly well. Defend like he always does, really aggressive under that crash helmet, isn't he? And then lap 16 came along, and Russell thought, catching up to the battle of Norris, Leclerc and Ocon, he thought, I'm not getting in the mix of this. As the track was dying, he chose the perfect moment to pit actually on lap 16, just enough laps towards the end to make it count. He went onto the softs and he was absolutely flying. Brilliant moves. Then Hulkenberg came in the pit a lap later, or a couple of laps later, as did Hamilton from P7. Leclerc also pit another lap later than that, but it just didn't look like there was enough time then from there onwards. There's only about 4 or 5 laps to go for them guys on the softer tyres or the slick tyres to make enough, because they were about 4 or 5 seconds a lap faster at some points. And the brilliant battle with Russell and Ocon on the line, a photo finish. Ocon keeps that place by like 9 thousandths of a second. I mean, it was a couple of more meters in that straight to the start finish line, and it looked like Russell would have got that place. A nice move from Hamilton on Leclerc at lap 20. It was crucial, that, wasn't it? It looked like there might have been a small touch. It was investigated between Hamilton and Leclerc, but it was given the all clear. It looked like it was a bit of a racing incident. If anything, it looked like it would be very, very minor, if that. And it was crucial for Hamilton actually from there to keep that Ferrari behind him. Albon defended really well with Hamilton as well. At that stage, Hamilton had the faster car, and it was a battle between Leclerc and Albon as well throughout. Alonso then catching up on his teammate Stroll, who was on the radio to say, look, this is silly, let's not bat it out, but he managed to hold on right at the end. So it was a crazy chaotic sprint race, and I think thanks to the mixed conditions for that one, hopefully we get something similar tomorrow to make it interesting. But yeah, Max Verstappen wins, Perez second, Carlos Sainz third, Stroll fourth, Alonso fifth. Sixth was Nico Hulkenburg. Seventh, he finished ninth. Norris seventh. Ocon eighth. Russell actually in the end, actually his recovery from 15th was brilliant, Russell's, wasn't it? Ninth for Norris in the end after that tap and going further back down the field. 10th we've got Lewis Hamilton finished 10th. He finally got a point, which is actually a decent result if you think about it, from 18th. Probably the best he could have hoped for, I think, and the mixed conditions really helped them out. 11th place for Piastri, 12th for Leclerc. He was actually, I think he'd be disappointed. He started 9th with that 3-place grid penalty he got at the start of this race for impeding Piastri in the sprint qualifying. And I think he'd be disappointed not to do better with that, especially his teammate got on the podium with Carlos Sainz. So, you know, he's there tomorrow though, at least when it counts in the race. He'll be starting second, Leclerc, and let's see what they can do from there. 13th, who we got? Alex Albon 13th, 14th Magnussen, 15th Gasly, 16th Tsunoda, De Vries 17th. He'll be disappointed, won't he? Started 14th and dropped back. A chance when there's conditions like this to make it a rise. Look at what Hulkenburg did. I mean, absolutely brilliant, making the most of these conditions, and that's kind of something what you want these young guys at the back. This is the opportunity you get to make the most of it and get some decent points. Stroll, Sargent 18th, 19th, Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas last and 20th. Yeah, they've had a difficult weekend, haven't they, Alfa Romeo? Especially with Bottas, he sort of had a bit of an upturn in the last couple of Grand Prix, hasn't he? But sort of reverting back. Bit odd because Canada was good for them and it didn't quite work out for them in the race today. But there we go. We've got the main race tomorrow, and if it's anything like today, it'll be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I can't wait for it now, to be honest with you. Leclerc, Max, that battle up at the front should be brilliant. The 2 Ferraris against the 1 Red Bull. You know, Perez has got it all to do coming from the back tomorrow. Let's see how it pans out. Will we get some mixed conditions? Hopefully it does really spice up the racing, doesn't it? And it really helped with the sprint race today. Oh, I think I needed time to breathe. It was brilliant. Thanks for watching. Watch out for the race review tomorrow. See you there.